What's going on, Alpha Day Trading family? Good morning and happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? I hope you guys are all fired up for today's trading session. We got some big time moves in the market. My goodness, we have the SPY, the S&P 500 below 350. At this point in time, we got the Qs dropping off the cliff, currently down 8 points at this point in time. What an amazing opportunity today in this market, guys. There's going to be so much opportunity to lock in some big time profits, guys. So I'm going to take this time to really thoroughly get you prepared for today's trading session so that we can all absolutely attack this market and lock in those big time profits. But before we go ahead and dive into it, I need each and every one of you inside the chat over on YouTube, hit me with a big old Alpha Day Trading. Good morning! That's like that. Just like that. That was the music still playing? It's okay. At least you guys got to jam out a little bit, right? That's the best way to do an intro, right? With the music bumping. You guys are really fired up now. All right, hit me with that big old good morning, baby. Let's get it. Everybody over on YouTube, what's up and what's going on? Good morning once again. Happy Thursday. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. And once again, all set, ready to rock and roll for today's trading session. We got a lot to talk about, so we're not going to waste any time. We are going to dive into it. All right, so let's talk about our top penny stocks for today. All right, we got LASC today, guys. LASC is definitely one of our top stocks to be watching. Nice low float stock, 4 million in float. LASC is not trading above the average volume yet at this point in time, but it's a newer IPO. So we had a lot of volume here on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, they dropped a press release that they announced a contract with the U.S. Navy, and that stock had a nice little spike on up towards around 331, but it gave a lot back. It gapped down yesterday, had a nice little bounce off of that 20 EMA, and then this morning, dropping a nice little press release here. LASE shares are trading higher after the company announced the Coca-Cola Company recently completed the implementation of its first clean tech handheld laser blasting system in its manufacturing facilities. That's some really good news here on LASC. And LASC right now is currently up 39%. And we have some big potential here. We have some amazing potential to see this stock rip to 5 and then 550 today. And I want to go ahead and let you guys know, if this stock eventually sells off today, I went ahead early this morning and located some shares to short. They were quite expensive, right? They were pricey. They were about 20 cents a share, 22 cents a share. But I went ahead and made that decision just so I have those if we ever see the stock really start to fade and fall. Okay, so I have some shares on the back burner just in case, because I do see potential for this thing to drop well more than 20 cents, 50 cents, a dollar. There's got to be a lot of volatility with this stock here, guys. All right, so with that being said, LASC right now, definitely one of our top stocks at this point in time. All right, support right now on LASC is going to be back down right around $3.57. Okay, and I'm saying 357. If you take a look at the day we IPO'd, there was a very, very strong bounce right around that 357 level. You could even throw this into a 30-minute time frame, and you see that gap down when it was halted, right? It opened at 5, spiked to 550, halted down at 450, then it gapped down, and that was the low where massive volume moved in. So I'm looking at that 357 being a pretty good level of support. Okay, if we crack below that 357 level, we do have a demand zone back down between this 303 and 330 region. And you could see that this morning we popped up. We can see that there was, that prior supply zone, which is now going to be demand, right? Just kind of like resistance turns into support, okay? You guys know that supply turns into demand. So we had that supply zone here. And you could see that we were kind of chopping around this morning, but then we were able to push through all of those sellers, all of those sell orders, and really get some great action and really just take on off here. So at any point in time we crack below that 357 level, I would say we would come back down inside the gray box. We're just going to call it the gray box. That could be as low as that 303, as high as that 331, where we could see this come down and see it hold on up as a level of support and see the stock move higher out of that zone, okay? But right now, 357 support. at this point in time. If we fall below 4, you know, we kind of took some heat around 4, not so much. We came down to like 396, back above 4 at this point in time. All right, so we want to watch it above 4. And we do have some resistance here right around 420, right? So if you take a look at back again when it IPO'd, you got 420 resistance, and then you have this gap fill. So this gray box here is just that gap, right? It was that gap we left after the halt. So we halted, we gapped down, dumped to 357. That's where we're getting our 357 support level, shot back up, and then it started to fade. So we left this little teeny gap between 437 and 450. So that's going to be a little bit of a level of resistance where it may be tough to see LASE break through. But if we can break back above that 420 level, and if we can start to push through that 437 to 450 level of resistance, guys, we got some great potential to the upside. We have some nice room up to $5, and then we could see this back up towards around that 550 all-time high, or that IPO spiking high here, guys. So there's a lot of great potential to the upside. We see about $1.50 to the upside at this point in time, and support's down about 50 cents to the downside. So there's a lot of great potential here with LASE. It's meeting that criteria. It's starting to pick up on the volume. Nice low flow, great press release, and then just so much potential to the upside. When I look at this chart, I just see there's a lot of potential here to make some big-time profits, and the stock has been relatively consistent and predictable so far today, guys. All right. If we ever break over 550, the sky's the limit. We just play it every whole dollar all the way up to 875 and 10 if the stock explodes, which it very well could explode because we've been seeing penny stocks explode lately. What was the other stock we saw absolutely just freaking take on off yesterday? IMUX, right? IMUX could still make another big move here today, right? Not yesterday, but Tuesday, massive move. Didn't really do that much, right? From pre-market into the start of the day, but then it started to pick back up. We came back into this demand zone, right? And it also put us right at our trend line. So those 2 points intersected beautifully here on IMUX. That was actually a level that we called out for entries in between that gray box, and it happened to be the trend line as well. And then we saw the stock go from around 750 all the way up to a 967 close, just the spike up to 1155 last night. Now, what are we doing? Not too much. Where could we come back down to? Well, we can come into that trend line, number one, and then we can come into this prior supply zone. You can see there's a lot of supply here. We broke it and then ripped yesterday. That would be a demand zone. That's a level of resistance, right? So we can come back down towards around this trend line, and that also puts us inside of this gray box where we can definitely see the stock hold on up and move higher. And that also puts us right around 875. And 875 is just one of those psychological levels that penny stocks like to hold on up. So if we ever fall below $10 today on IMUX, okay, we have potential to fall back down towards around the 880s here on IMUX. Okay, but if we do hold above $10 and just start to squeeze, look left. Where could we see the stock go? Pre-market highs of 1125. That post-market high of 1155, and then we could see the stock all the way up towards around 12, and then 1440 here on IMUX. So there's no news today, right? There's no impressive volume today, but this stock has been absolutely on fire over the past couple of days. Dropped a press release Monday, didn't do too much. Tuesday, squeeze. Wednesday, squeeze. If we come back down into this level and we hold that trend line, I would like to start building a little bit of a position there, looking to see if we start to squeeze once again today. This stock is still on fire. At this point in time, no indication of it selling off and slowing down. Okay, so that's trade plan number one, looking to get long right around the 880s for this nice big move today. If we ever crack below that trend line that we've respected, 1, 2 would be the third time, right? I would like to short this stock back down towards around the 760s. Okay, so above the trend line, above this gray box, to keep it simple, we're long back to 10, we're long back to 1113, 1155, 12, so on and so forth. Okay, and if we hold $10, same thing. We're back long to these pre-market highs, post-market highs, 12 and then 1450, right? At any point in time, we crack below that 875 level. That's falling out of the gray box. Again, the gray box is our prior supply zone, which is going to be new demand. I'm just going to call it the gray box to keep it simple. We crack the trend line. we fall below the gray box, all right, and that turns into resistance, and we fall below 875, I would like to short it back down towards around 780 today on IMUX, guys. All right, so this is definitely another stock that I want to keep on high watch right at the start of the day, and then just throughout the day to see if we get some great action once again, because we can make some big time profits on this stock. It's been very predictable. It's been very just clean and consistent, and just providing you guys with amazing opportunities. So we're definitely going to be watching IMUX today, team. Okay, FNGR. So when you take a look at FNGR, you have one big ascending triangle breakout formation. So this stock since last Tuesday has been grinding its trend line. Tuesday, Wednesday, into Friday, into Monday, Tuesday, yesterday, right? So this stock has a super nice uptrend with flat resistance right around 10 bucks. As long as FNGR stays above the trend line, you guys are good to go to the long side, right? You're looking for the $10 break up to 11.24 off this really big ascending triangle breakout formation. Okay, where do you put your stop losses? Where do you want to get short on this trade? Where do you not want to be long? That's if we ever crack below that trend line. Okay, so if you like FNGR, it has great potential to the upside, guys. It really does. It's been a hot stock. It's starting to pick up on volume as well. You know, we have great potential to 11.24 if we can break that $10 resistance. And again, as long as we hold the trend line, you guys are good to go to the long side. And there's a lot of potential here. The second we crack the trend line, you don't want to be long. You want to get out of this. And then maybe think about shorting it if we can get some shares to short here on FNGR. So FNGR is going to be another top stock I want to keep on watch. Really nice technical formation here. And then lastly, PEGY. And now PEGY could be coming into an entry right at the start of the day. So with PEGY, we have a very nice uptrend at this point in time. And that trend line is starting to line up really, really nice, very close to support as well, right around the 616 level. So I want to watch PEGY above 616. If we can hold that support level, we can definitely rip back up to 7 and then 750. Anything over 750, we have room to 926 today on PEGY. Okay, but if you do crack below 616, it's okay. We can come down to $6, which is a natural support level, and that also puts us right at the trend line. So to really keep this simple, team, okay, as long as we stay above this trend line, you want to play PEGY long, and you're coming really, really close to that trend line. If we start to crack the trend line, you may want to think about playing it short back down towards around 523, which is going to be Tuesday's post-market highs. All right, so PEGY looks great. It's been in a nice uptrend. It's coming into support. It's another stock that's been on fire. It started to pick up with some volume again yesterday. These prior day movers are the best bets, guys, right? These prior day top gainers have been consistently moving day after day after day after day. That's where I want to put my focus on these stocks that we can look left on and really gauge some of the best levels to take entries based off of. PEGY meeting that criteria. Definitely want to keep PEGY on high watch today, guys. All right, I definitely see some potential if we hold above that 6 to 616 and hold that trend line as well. We have room to 754, and then we have some room up towards around 926. Again, FNGR, big picture ascending triangle breakout formation. Okay, as long as we hold this trend line, you guys are good for the breakout over 10 to 11.24. Okay, IMUX, once again, if we hold above $10 at the open, we could definitely start to rip back up to the pre-market highs, post-market highs of 11.55, 12, and then 14.42. Those are going to be your profit-taking levels. Those are resistance levels, okay? If we do fall below $10, it's still in play. And I would like to see it fall below 10 bucks and come back down towards around our gray box, all right? 875 and the uptrend. And this stock could still make some great moves today. So I want to keep IMUX on very high watch. And then LASE as well, team. Okay, LASE does have bottom support at 357. If you fall below 357, we can come down between this 302 to 330 and may still be in play today. We'll have to see when that time comes, but ideally 357 support or staying above 4 at this point in time, re-breaking 420 resistance back up to high a day. And if we ever can get through this little gray box between 437 and 450, we have great potential to 5, and then great potential up towards around 550 today on LASE. So this is one of our top stocks right at the start of the day, guys. Okay. AGFY, look at it and compare it to the other 4 we just discussed. Those other 4 stocks look fantastic. APDN, look at it and compare it to the other stocks that we just discussed. right? This stock doesn't look as good as these other opportunities out there. Now, could these stocks move today? Abso-freaking-lutely they could move today. APDN's coming down towards around its 200 SMA. APDN is coming down into this prior supply zone, and it could turn into demand, and we could see APDN shoot up again. But as far as like right at the start of the day, that takes all of my focus. It definitely doesn't go to APDN. It definitely doesn't go to AGFY, because these other 4 stocks we discussed have much better technical setups. They look 10 times better, and they could provide us with a lot better opportunity as well, guys. All right, so that is going to be my stock watch list for today, and the reasons these stocks are on my watch list, and what I'm looking for to get involved with one of these 4 stocks, right? I have 4 great opportunities in front of me. I just need one stock to give me what I want, right? I am prepared. I have a plan. I know exactly where we could see these stocks go before moving higher or looking to short, right? Now I just have to sit back and wait for one of these stocks to give me an opportunity. That's it. I have a 1 in 4 chance of one of these stocks giving me a great setup to be able to lock in some fantastic profits. So now we just sit back and wait for the stock to come down into one of our levels, set up for us, and then let's make some money, guys. Let's keep it simple today, right? Let's keep it simple. Let's stay positive. Let's be upbeat. Everybody's fantastic traders, right? Regardless of what happened yesterday, it's in the past. Today's a brand new day, right? Wipe that slate clean, and let's make it happen and do things the right way. Build your trade plans. Manage your risk. Sit back, be patient, breathe, wait for the best opportunity to present itself, right? And make today an easy day. We can make trading easy if we do it the right way. And that's how we're going to go about today, guys. We're going to make it easy. We're going to sit back, relax. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to lock in some profits, guys. Okay? Who's with me? Are you with me? I'm with me. Are you with me? Let's make it happen. All right, now what we got going on with the SPY and the Qs. All right, what do we got going on with the SPY and ZQs today? Well, we had CPI data come out. All right, so if you take a look at CPI data this morning, came out at 8:30. Inflation rate year over year, right, 8.2%. Came in at the forecast of 8.2%, right? We look at our month over month, it was 0.4 compared to the 0.3. But we look at our core inflation year over year is actually a little bit higher than the forecast, 6.6% compared to the 6.4% forecast. Market did not like that whatsoever, from 265 down to 255 here on the Qs. The SPY from 362 down to freaking 349. That's a massive drop on the SPY, guys. Massive drop. When I look left to gauge a level of support on the SPY, guess where that's going to put us back down to? The prior highs before the COVID crash back in 2020. We are that close from getting back down to that 338 level. I never thought that was going to happen this year. That's insane to see the markets go from 479 potentially back down to 338. And if Jamie Dimon's correct, and we did the math correctly, that puts us back down in the 220s if we get that additional 20 to 30% decline in the market, if he is accurate, which he's a pretty smart guy. So let that digest for a second. We have literally went from 2020, right, January, February 2020, all the way to the end of 2021. All right, beginning of 2022, we've came all the way back down. We're that close, all the way back down to where we were before the COVID crash. The way I look at this, and I mean, again, I'm no economic expert. I'm no master. I trade penny stocks. I trade stocks based on technicals, based on probabilities, and I invest in quality companies on a dollar cost average. I'm no freaking expert when it comes down to sector rotation, the economy. But to me, it seems like we're coming back down to the mean, the average reality, right? Everything was nice and steady and healthy with the economy and the market. COVID happened, it dumped, and then everything became really inflated because of all of the money printing, putting all this money in the economy, people with more spending power, companies, guidance is going up because people are spending money. And it just seems like to me that is realistic to come back down to where we were before all this madness started to happen in the first place, right? That's just what I think. You know, everything was great, steady, calm, nothing crazy. COVID happened, a lot of craziness. Then you start printing all this freaking money. Companies are growing exponentially because all of the extra money in the economy circulating through. Remember, one person's income is another, one person's spending is another person's income. Well, when the government hands out free money to people, they're spending, and these companies are growing exponentially, and that just simply wasn't sustainable. So now we're starting to get inflation under control, right? If we can see inflation under control into end of the year, January, February, right? And we get inflation below 6%. Historically, inflation below 6% is when the markets bottom. That brings us back down to reality where we were before all this craziness happened. That makes sense. I would like to see the SPY down at the 338, and I'm going to be buying some SPY at 338, guys. That's just me, and that's my 2 cents. I keep it simple. Again, I'm no expert by any means, but from my 2 cents, that would make sense to me to want to get involved and start dollar cost averaging in when the SPY's down around 338. And maybe some tech stocks, right? A lot of stocks that I do like, start dollar cost averaging in if we see the Qs down around like the 230s, right? And I'm not going to go crazy, hardcore aggressive, but I'm going to start going like maybe 10, 15% of my portfolio and start dollar cost averaging into some just quality companies like Amazon, Alphabet, CRM, Datadog, a lot of quality companies out there, guys, right? So from a long-term perspective, I think that's where we're headed to with the SPY, right? I think we could definitely see the SPY down towards around 338.44, and that was the pre-pandemic high here on the SPY, guys, okay? So that's one of the best levels of support I'm seeing right now at this point in time. Where's resistance? Well, it's back up at these prior lows that we've been trying to bounce off of for the last couple of weeks. So that's going to be 356. Right around that 356 level is going to be very strong resistance. We had a lot of demand, right? There was a lot of demand. Okay, that was a demand zone. We fell below it. Now it's going to be a possible supply zone that puts you right off those prior lows here that would turn into resistance. I would definitely think about getting short on the SPY if we ever come back inside that little gray box up here, right? I would definitely think about taking some puts and then riding those on down towards around that 338.44, as that's the most logical area to see the SPY come down to next, okay? So right now, that's what I want to see. I want to see an intraday setup, guys, right? And right now, there's no reason to jump in this right now. Like, there's just nothing here. Like, do you see anything? Is there a formation? Is there an edge? Is there something that says I have higher probabilities of one thing happening over another? I don't see anything. I see we're in between support and resistance, the uncertainty zone, right? That's what I call it, the uncertainty zone. That's what I see. So I'd like to see it back up around 355, 366. Look to place put contracts on down to 338.44, going out 35 or 45 days, 60 days as a potential day trade opportunity. And then that may turn into a swing trade opportunity. You're only talking, about a 15, 16 point drop. We've seen 10 to 15 point moves after CPI data. So it's not like shocking to say, hey, we could see a 10 point move today, a 15 point move today, down towards around that 338.44. Right, but I definitely still buy myself some time, 45, 60 days out on those put contracts, only if we get back into that 355 to 356 zone and we start to see us falling back outside of that zone and we start to see that leg down, and then I have a target of that 338, guys. Okay, so we'll definitely take a look at those contracts, see if they're affordable, look at the IV, the open interest, yada, yada, yada. We'll definitely get prepared on that and see if we have any good opportunity. Then we just got to really sit back and wait for an intraday opportunity to present itself for like a day trade, okay? So again, that's support and resistance, guys. Resistance at 356, support down at 338.44, and now we just need to wait for something to present itself. The Qs, okay? The Qs have resistance back up at 261.22 underneath those lows. You could probably drag it up a little bit higher if you wanted to. You could probably throw it up towards around 362 is going to be, better resistance here on the Qs. And the Qs have support right around this 251.45, right? It was that spiking high here. We came down, retested that all-time high before the COVID crash. Then we broke out, and then we came down and tested that support, and we've been rallying ever since. So 251.45 is going to be a support level on the Qs, and then 250 because it's psychological, okay? But if we ever crack below 250 on the Qs, I see us coming back down towards that 237.68. And we're just going to make this a solid green line. We know that these are the prior highs before the pandemic and the COVID crash. And we're going to go to do the same thing with the SPY. Go back to the SPY, and we're going to go ahead and mark up that level, solid green, so we can differentiate what these levels are, okay? And that's where I believe we could see the SPY come down to, is that solid green line, okay? If the Qs fall below 251 and 250, I believe we can see the Qs fall down to 237.68. Now, am I saying that's going to happen today? No. I'm saying it's very realistic. We've seen the markets move 10 points in a day, 15 points in a day. We've seen that. I've seen the markets halted, down 7%, almost down 14% in a single day during COVID. So I've seen it. Anything can happen in the market. So those are the levels that I have. That's what I see, and that's kind of my game plan for today from a intraday day trade, swing trade perspective, a day trade that can turn into a swing trade if we get into some of these levels here. I'm really just looking at the SPY. And then we just need to sit back and be patient, wait for something to present itself, a really good opportunity to get involved. There's going to be opportunity today. There's going to be a lot of opportunity. I smell it. So get prepared, get focused, get honed in, and let's make it happen today, and let's lock in some big-time profits. All right. So again, good morning, good morning, good morning. Those are going to be pricey, yeah. Buying SPY calls, long-term out, pricey. Yes, we're all set, guys. We got about 46 seconds to go. Go ahead and type up the one ticker in chat that you think is going to do the best today, all right? We don't have time for a poll. We came in just a little bit late, but go ahead and type up the number one ticker, only one ticker, that you think is going to do the best today, okay? SPY. I agree. The SPY, baby. The SPY, right? And literally, I'm so eager that I got the SPY off to the side, and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for a setup, and we're attacking it. Qs, SPY, Qs, SPY. Are we even going to watch pennies today, guys? Am I even allowed to watch fucking penny stocks today? All right, let's do this. SPY, live stream. That's it. SPY, live stream, and I'll watch my pennies off to the side. H is like IMUX. All right, H. We got somebody wanting to freaking trade some penny stocks with me. Jesus. All right, let's watch the SPY here, guys. We got inverse ETFs, right? We can trade, SQs, you got TQs. You got a lot of good inverse ETFs that you could be trading in this market, guys. The VIX is at 33 right now, 33. LASE, I think LASE looks good as well. All right, guys, enjoy your day on YouTube. All right, my undivided attention going to members here inside of chat. We're going to have fun. We're going to attack this market. And we are going to lock in some big time profits. I mean, members every single day coming in, just absolutely crushing it with those profits. And we're going to do it once again today. Everybody on YouTube, enjoy your day. Happy and safe trading. We look forward to working with you at some point in the future. If you ever need anything, just hit me up, josh@alphadaytrading.com. I'm always here to help. Until then, peace out. Enjoy your Thursday. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning, guys. I mean, if you guys want to get, a little crazy with it out of the gate, if you guys are feeling a little confident today, which I hope you all are, you can look to start shorting this below pre-market lows if you wanted to. You could look to start shorting it below pre-market lows, again, if you wanted to, or you go long at the break of this downtrend. One of the two. All right, it's a little bit of a descending triangle formation. You can short it below pre-market lows if you want. Just keep the stops tight. You may see a lot of volatility just right out of the gates. But if you ever start to break that downtrend, you could start to see a little bit of a pop back up to that VWAP at 251.50 here on the SPY. Oh, I see some good potential with pennies today. I really like LASE today. I really like IMUX down around the 880s. I'm really digging FNGR today, and then PEGY. PEGY just came down to that trend line. It's starting to bounce. I'm really liking PEGY. Where could I put stops? That's too much of a stop. I'd have to get in right at 6. I'm 30 cents late. It's okay. But I'm really digging PEGY, FNGR, great potential today. IMUX down around 880s. LASE, I still have shares to short on this thing, so I could always look for another short entry if it sets up. But we're still going to be watching pennies, guys, because I see some great setups and great opportunity. But obviously right now, let's go focus on the spine to Qs. I got some SQs ready to go. S, Q, Q, Q. So looking for the Qs to drop and looking for SQQQ to rip on up here a little bit. Again, keeping it nice and tight. If it doesn't just open and start to drop, you know, there's no sense in really holding it too long. Like I said, if you're feeling a little today, right? You're feeling a little powerful, you're feeling confident, and you want to be jumping in right at the start of the day. I mean, hey, you just got to be you got to be willing to keep it nice and tight, baby. Keep it nice and tight.